I'm going to talk about something that may really bore you, that is not glamorous, and you may think, why do I need to hear about this? If you are a woman of any age, starting early as teens, you need to hear this because I wasn't educated, which, like most of us, we still aren't educated. We only know that this is going to maybe happen to us. We don't even know if it's going to happen to us. I didn't even know what this was, but my mother went through this, and all I would do is just listen to her tell me this. And I was thinking, "Well, okay, well, that's just that." My mom, she started going through hot flashes. Maybe she might have been in her 40s. I don't know because I was really young when I heard my mother saying that she couldn't stand it. She was going through hot. She felt so hot. She felt like she was burning up. That's all she said. So I only knew about this because my mom would tell me this all the time. And I thought, she was silly, or I don't know. I just thought maybe she was hot. And then I went on with my day. I lived my life. I went on to hang out with friends and, just do my thing until about 2 years ago. I started getting so hot, ladies. I was extremely hot. I felt like I was hot within. Like it's internally. I can't even explain. It feels like you're burning up from within. And it is really, really strange feeling. And then I started having rages. I started just freaking out. And don't get me wrong, I always had mood swings, through menstrual and just in general. We are women, so, we're very sensitive. And it's not because I'm saying this is why we go through mood swings. I'm saying as a woman, we have to deal with the menstrual side of the hormones. I mean, these are really hormones. It's not because we're sensitive. So, that's not what I'm saying. But I mean, things we get blamed for being too sensitive if we're going through these hormone changes. So that's not what I meant. So I know very much so that this is a real thing. But it is really, really disheartening that we are so far behind still, that I had to go onto YouTube and be my own advocate to find out about why this was happening to me and what I could do to prevent it. Yes, I knew, okay, this is menopause. I didn't even know the thing of perimenopause. I didn't even know that. I thought that it was just all menopause. But perimenopause is when the stages of you're going through the hot flashes. It can last years, 10 years, 15. It can go into your 60s. I mean, some women still have hot flashes. When you stop all that, that's when you're just in menopause. So I'm still learning and I'm still finding out about things. I am not an expert, but I am getting the information that I need for myself. I've learned so much more than I knew before by finding these doctors such as Mary Haver Claire. She's one of them. She's a big time doctor that ventured off into helping women. When she started going through this, I believe what she said, she wanted to help other women. There's also another doctor that I found on YouTube that I really do like. Her name is Dr. Susan Hardwick Smith. And I just watched one of her videos right now to kind of update myself with it, to get some more informative information for myself, to kind of help you a little bit. I would suggest going to these experts because this is just for me to get the ball rolling. I hear so many women that don't understand it. They don't know what's going on with their bodies. Their doctors tell them not to take hormone replacement therapy. For instance, I started on Aloy. Well, I started with another doctor. It was online. I kept looking because I didn't know of any doctors that would help me with this through my insurance. So I found someone online. I'd have to go back and look at that one. So that one I first found, I believe, let me see if I can look up the name really quick here. Um, okay. Oh, I don't think I'm sharing the screen. So yeah, I might have to pause it really quick and I'll look that up. Okay, I will have to find it later down the road, but or and get back with you on that. I don't want to spend too much time. I can't find it. And I have emails from them, but that is the first one I went through, and I spent 500, or it was 400 or something, one time, and you can get the help from them as long as you need. They did you bought it for this kit, and you do a saliva spit, well, tubes, and you have to do the saliva in there, which was really tough. It took forever. And I think there's things you have to follow, I think, before you did it. And it reads what your levels are. So it reads numerous of things. I had like about 2, 3 pages of things that it read from all kinds of different things. My cardiovascular levels, I mean, all kinds of things on there, where my levels were with my hormones. And yes, I definitely needed hormones. So that was that. And then they set me up with some other place. It was to get my creams. It was estradiol, and then it was a cream. So, and then they had a pill that was taken by mouth. It was some different things. I'd have to go through it to remember what it was. But the creams, I was using that for a while. You use it on, right here, behind your leg, and just places it seeps in. So I used that for a bit, and I did feel good. I did feel good. Oh, and they also scheduled me a time to go in for blood work as well. So I did that for uh, levels as well. It was a combination. So I kept watching these women on YouTube, and the further I got into it, I started seeing that the cream dissolves. It doesn't last. It doesn't stay in your system. So you're not getting the full benefits of the HRT, hormone replacement therapy. So then I started digging more. Digging more into the rabbit hole of what I could do. Where can I get help? Looking for doctors near me. And I couldn't find anything. So finally, I found a place called Aloy Menopause for, women on menopause, and I went to that. So the one doctor was talking about, she starts her patients off on 0.05 patch of estradiol and the 100 milligrams of progesterone. So that helps your sleep. That's the hormone of you get when you're pregnant, but you need that hormone. So that's what I'm saying. I really, really highly suggest you go watch these doctors. But I got a prescription for that. Every 3 months it came. So with the estradiol patch, you take it twice a week. I change it. Uh, if every once in a while I would forget. But they have a little calendar you could mark, or you could watch. You could make your not watch. You could look at what days you could do. Get your own calendar, and I I I started doing that. Let's see. And I've been on that for quite a while. And I started to do some more research after about a year went by to see if I could find a doctor through my insurance. And finally, I found someone, OBGYN, and it was through my insurance. So I went there. I went to one location, saw a doctor there. It was fine. She was great. She didn't talk about, you don't need to be on this. Because a lot of OBGYNs still don't know about hormone replacement therapy. They're so far behind. I believe, on a video that doctors only have about 6 to 7 hours of menopause and helping women in their residency. And I'm not saying this if it's 100% 6 to 7 hours. I may be wrong, but it's pretty low. And so they just don't have a lot of learning with it. A lot of their education doesn't cover a lot of that. So that was that. And then I went to her, I believe it was August of 2025. And right now it is August of 2026. So I know that I was supposed to go back, which I did since then. I needed to go back for my yearly checkup to have them keep prescribing me the hormone replacement therapy. So it is unfortunate with now doctors, you start with someone and then they'll leave and you have to go to someone else. It is just crazy how this happens. It's been happening in the last, I'd say, I don't know, 5 years, 4 years, I'd say that I remember, or three. I'd say three. And so I had another date I had to go. They said, would you like to schedule it way out? Would you like to do it when you're ready? I said, just go ahead and schedule it out. So as time got closer to the year up, I got a call from the doctor's office for the OBGYN, and they said in the message, this doctor left, so we are going to get you in with somebody else. Just call us to see who you, you want to be scheduled with, a different doctor. So I finally called him back. I scheduled my appointment. I called him back again. I canceled it and I wanted to reschedule. And they said, well, it's getting close. You can't go past the year, otherwise you won't get your hormone replacement therapy. And so I had to stick with that day. And actually, they had a cancellation and they got me in. But anyway, so I switched the doctor, of course, went in. It was another female doctor, and a little bit younger. And she was talking to me, we're going through everything and just telling her it's working great. And she said, okay, well, eventually I want to take you off hormone replacement therapy. I said, yeah, this is working because I don't want to go back to the hot flashes. I don't want to go back to possibly getting, all these different things wrong with me. And so she said, oh, no, not now. As you age and get older. And I'm thinking, okay. Because I wasn't thinking that I had watched all these women and telling you, you don't, once you start it, especially in your, 40s, it could be 50s, the sooner you start it and you're going through perimenopause, the better. Now, are there things you have to take caution with? Yes. There are things you can check your heart, you can check things like that. But do your research, make sure. And a lot of these doctors are going to tell you this. They're going to tell you that you're going to get blood clots, you're going to get cancer right off the bat. So this is something you really have to make sure you do your uh, be your advocate, be your own advocate, and really go on and watch these doctors. I'm telling you, these are really high end doctors. Mary Mary Claire Haver is a really, really well known in this menopause, and she's trying to get it to where it's changing in the health industry and just really making a big difference and doing a lot of work with it. So, she said, well, the chances of you getting blood clots are get higher as you get older. Well, I just watched the video that I mentioned with I keep forgetting her name for some reason, Dr. Susan. And she goes into, the risk, what you should check for, what you should um, just going into further depth with it. She mentions that if you start earlier, that once you get into your 60s and beyond, that you shouldn't stop it because that's when the higher chances of all these different things happening. She said she's going to take it till, this the end. And this is so crazy how you're being told this. You're being told so much misinformation that yes, there is things, especially when people back in the day used to take the estradiol, which is estrogen, by the way, by pill form. You should not be taking that by pill form. Now, the progesterone is by pill form. The estradiol could be taken on the patch, which is I'm on, or the insert tablets. So I'm on the patches. So it is just something that I really, really love to share with other women, to know that you don't have to suffer. You're going to start perimenopause no matter what, but you don't have to suffer through it. So definitely check into that. I've been so happy since I've been on hormone replacement therapy. Yes, there's bad days, I have good and bad days, but the outcome, it outweighs not being on it. And I am just able to sleep at night, other than my dog waking me up all the time. But other than that, I sleep. I'm out. I sleep so good. Definitely check that out. Check those doctors out. I really would love to start a little bit more in depth talking about this because it's something that I feel like we need to hear more about. And it may not seem exciting for you, but it's something you need to know for yourself, for your daughters, for even, your family members, your sister. I mean, different people. I know a lot of people are still afraid when I mentioned I'm on hormone replacement therapy, my sisters, for example, are older than me. One of my sisters told me, "Oh, don't take too much." I'm like, "No, they prescribe you certain amounts that you need, your body needs. That's why it's great to do the blood work and saliva or whatever your doctor, if you find a good doctor." I will get the name. I'm going to go back and try to look for the one online that did get me that saliva and the blood work. I'm actually really tired right now, so my dog woke me up again early this morning to eat at 3:30 a.m. and I'm off work because I was feeding him at 4 a.m. before I go to work, and so he's on his schedule, but he thinks that he needs to eat at 3:30 a.m. and it's every single morning. So I'm trying to figure out how to break this, and so it's like having an infant. I am losing sleep, ladies. So other than that, I would sleep really, really good. I mean, I'm out. I sleep like a rock, and I don't wake up very easy. He just doesn't stop trying to wake me up. And yes, I do talk a lot about hair growth and shedding, but I feel like this is something that's really important to me. So I do want to share this with you, ladies. I hope everyone has a great rest of your morning. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will have down below a description of, I mean, in the description, my link to my hair course. It does have a slide about a little bit about of the menopause hormone replacement therapy, but um, feel free to check that out and take advantage of it. Okay, I'm rambling now, so I will talk to you. See you later.